The Battle of Verdun raged on, the year 1916, a dark and brutal chapter in the annals of World War I. The trenches scarred the earth, and the artillery's thunderous roars were like the cries of the earth itself. Verdun had become a blood-soaked symbol of the war's futility, where thousands of soldiers on both sides had perished, fighting for mere inches of ground. On a cold and overcast morning, French and German soldiers prepared for yet another assault, their faces etched with exhaustion, fear, and determination. In the French trench, Captain Julien Leclerc gazed out at the desolation that was once a picturesque landscape. He had seen countless men die, friends and comrades, all for the honor of their nation. The war had changed him, turned him into a man he hardly recognized. As the whistles blew, the soldiers climbed the ladders, their bayonets fixed, and hearts pounding with dread and valor. The battle began, the cacophony of gunfire and the sight of men falling like rag dolls. For hours they fought, a grinding clash of wills, the very essence of war itself. Amid the chaos, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a low, guttural sound resonated through the trench. It was a sound unlike any they had heard before, and it spread terror among the soldiers. At first, they dismissed it as a trick of the mind, a result of their exhaustion and fear. But the noise grew louder and more menacing, like a beast stirring in the depths of the earth. The ground beneath them quaked, and the soldiers stumbled. The fighting on both sides ceased, and for a moment, an eerie silence descended upon the battlefield. It was then that a dark, swirling portal emerged on no man's land, a rent in the fabric of reality itself. From this void, demons began to crawl, their grotesque forms causing even the most battle-hardened soldiers to recoil in horror. The demons were unlike anything the world had ever seen. Horned, with leathery wings and eyes that burned with malevolence, they stormed forth from the portal with a ferocity that defied description. They fell upon the French and German soldiers indiscriminately, tearing through ranks with claws and teeth, their very presence sowing chaos and despair. Captain Leclerc could only watch in disbelief as his men were slaughtered by these otherworldly horrors. It was as if hell itself had opened its gates, and the Battle of Verdun had transformed into a battle for humanity's very survival. Desperation and survival instinct overcame the enmity between the French and German soldiers. They formed a fragile alliance against the demonic onslaught. Bayonets and rifles were replaced with whatever weapons could be found: shovels, trench spikes, and even bare hands. The once bitter enemies fought side by side, for the demons recognized no nation, only prey. As the night wore on, the battle between man and demon raged. The demons were relentless, but the soldiers' resolve was unyielding. Captain Leclerc, covered in mud, blood, and with a heart heavy from the atrocities he had witnessed, led his men with a grim determination. Their survival was at stake, not only as Frenchmen, but as humans facing a force beyond comprehension. Then, as dawn broke and the demons showed no sign of retreating, a brilliant light pierced the sky. A squadron of fighter planes, each adorned with the French tricolor, soared overhead, dropping bombs and strafing the demons with machine gun fire. The combined might of modern warfare and ancient horrors clashed in a chaotic dance. The battle raged for hours more, but slowly the demons were pushed back. Their portal to hell began to close, and they retreated with it, their otherworldly cries echoing in defeat. The soldiers, exhausted and battered, watched as the portal vanished, leaving behind a scorched battlefield and countless dead. The Battle of Verdun, once a symbol of futility and despair, had transformed into a story of survival and camaraderie. The soldiers who had faced the demons together were forever changed by the experience, bound not by nations, but by a shared nightmare. Captain Leclerc, his uniform torn and his spirit scarred, looked out at the desolate landscape once more. He knew that Verdun would never be the same, but perhaps, in the face of such unspeakable horrors, humanity could find a glimmer of hope and unity.